Hey guys, welcome back to Karting with Chris. Today's video is going to be the Fall 2 final race here at North Texas Karters. Now if you haven't seen my last video where I did the pre-final race, click in the top right corner and check it out. But for those of you who have seen my pre-final race, basically what happened is I started in 4th and dropped down into 5th. Now for those of you who have never been to NTK, starting in 5th, we're starting on the inside, and the first two corners of the race are left-handers. So usually when you start on the inside, you have a bit of an advantage and usually gain a couple positions. So I'm not upset starting in 5th place. So my plan for the beginning of this race is to push Michaela in front of us, cart number 007, and just push her through the first couple of corners. Like I said, we'll have the inside of the first couple of corners, so we should be able to gain some positions at the beginning, but obviously anything can happen, so you can't plan for everything, but that's going to be my main objective going into this race. So we're going down the back straight here, landing on pole, giving us a nice slow speed. Really appreciate the slow starts. And watch Chuck in cart 689 at the start of this race. He gets a really good start. So flagman waves green, we're good to go. Right off the bat, going on the inside, I think Michaela was a little hesitant and she didn't quite follow Landon, and you can see Chuck immediately jumps up into 3rd, and we didn't gain any positions at the start. Now fortunately it was a very clean start, so no one got taken out, but starting on the inside you usually are guaranteed a position, and we didn't really gain anything, so not too happy with that start. But there's nothing I can do about it now. I just got to put my head down, try and catch up to the top 3. You can see that the top 3 in front of Michaela have started to pull away already. I either want to get past Michaela, catch up to the top 3, or work together with Michaela and try and catch up to them, because we don't want them pulling away, because that's the podium positions right there. So we can see Michaela has already kind of pulled away from me. If you saw my pre-final race, I did notice that she might have had a bit more top end than me, so down the straight she might pull away from me. So I need to get within her slipstream, so if she does try and pull away from me, she's pulling me along. You can see I'm not quite within that slipstream, so she's able to gap me down the straight. So I really got to make up the time through the corners, really got to brake late and get my turning points correct, because I need to get within that slipstream and catch up to her. So we're rounding out lap 2, we're about to start lap 3, and behind me in 6th place is a person who has one of the coolest names I've ever heard, easily top 3 in the world, and his name is Chris. I mean, what a phenomenal name. But yeah, he's in 6th place, and he's not quite close enough to Michaela and I to benefit off of our slipstream, so he's really not part of this race yet, but he will come into play later on in this race. And he was actually filming this race through visor cam. He had a camera in his visor, so I'm going to be using some of his footage because he generously allowed me to use his footage. So if you see footage like that, that's coming from him. So as you can see, we've caught up to Michaela now, and she no longer has that advantage going down the straights because I'm within her slipstream now. And at this point in the race, I was kind of thinking, should I pass her or should I not pass her? If I pass her, we could battle and the guys in front could pull away, but I decided I'm going to pass her. So going through the chicane here, we have Chris from behind filming us. That's me in cart 640. And I'm going to look for the inside going to turn 7. And Michaela does not fight it too much. And you can see this has also brought Chris into play. So now I'm up into 4th place. Chris in 6th place has caught up to us, and now it's a train of 3. And so my plan for this point on is to work together with Michaela. She pushed me down the straights because she has that straight line speed advantage, and then I kind of pull us along through the corners because I noticed I was a little faster through the corners. So now I'm leading this train of 3, so I get to kind of call the shots from up at the front. And if you look further ahead, you can see that the top 3 are also kind of working together. So we got to hope that they start battling or make mistakes, because this could easily become a stalemate. Because if they just work together the whole time and we work together the whole time, it's going to be hard to catch up to them, especially with a gap this big. But coming out of turns 8 and 9, if we look up ahead going into turn 1, we can see that the top 3 are starting to pass each other. So this is good news for us. That means it's definitely going to slow them down. We're going to be able to catch up with them. So we got to hope that they keep doing that some more. And I also got to hope that Michaela and Chris don't battle with me, because I'm looking at the end game here. I'm not looking at where I am right now. I'm looking at the big picture. You know, where's this race going to be near the later stages? Now, when people start working together, it can get a little boring to watch. So the top 3 were working together a lot, and Michaela, Chris, and myself were working together a lot. So we're going to skip ahead a couple laps. We're on lap 8 now, and this is where things start to get a little spicy. So going through turn 2 and then through turn 3 up here, Michaela, Chris, and myself were all still working together. But up ahead, we can see there's some dust up ahead, and Chuck has gone off before entering the chicane. So I tell Michaela from behind, I point forward, I say, look at Chuck. He's all by himself now. He went off the grass. He's definitely got dirty tires, so he's going to be a little slippery for the next couple of corners. And you can see we're definitely catching up to him. So the 3 of us should be able to catch up to Chuck, because he doesn't have a slipstream and we do. So that's 3rd place up ahead, and now this has just become a battle for 3rd. Now, one thing I know about Chuck is that he's a very fast driver and he can be very consistent, so it's not going to be easy catching up to Chuck. And when you do have, 2 people working together, you're only a couple tenths faster than by yourself. So even a gap like this will take a little bit of time to catch up to him, but we should be able to catch up to him. So I'm putting my head down. I'm trying not to make any mistakes. As the leader of this group of 3, you can't make mistakes. And we're definitely closing in on Chuck. He's definitely getting closer. So I'm getting ready. If I catch up to him, I'll want to work together with him, because I kind of want to pull away from Michaela and Chris. I don't want to battle with them for 3rd. I want to just be Chuck and I battling for 3rd. Now, unfortunately, I think Michaela might have realized this, that I could catch up to Chuck and pull away from them, and I don't think she wanted that. I can't read minds, obviously, but coming out of the chicane here, we're going to switch to the Chris cam. She's going to pull along beside me going into turn 7. She's got that straight line speed, so it's going to be relatively easy for her. And she's going to go up into 4th place, and I move down into 5th place. Now, I'm not going to fight it too much, because, again, 3rd place is right there. I don't want Chuck to pull away from us, but now I gotta, rethink my strategy. Now, if Michaela is able to catch up to Chuck and we are able to have a battle for 3rd, then I'm all for that. So for now, I'm just gonna push Michaela down the straight. So you can see she's opened a bit of a gap on me, so that's a little worrying, but still, I've got Chris from behind pushing me, and she's really not that far in front of me. So if Michaela can catch up to Chuck, then I'm all for that. So I'm gonna push her for a couple laps, see what it's gonna be like. But going through turn 7 here, you can see she went a little sideways, and then through turns 8 and 9, she goes a little sideways again. I'm having to push her through these corners, and I shouldn't be having to do that. And so that's gonna allow Chuck to maintain his gap, because down the straight, you can see I can catch up to her, but I don't have that top end to push her down the straights. But through the corners, she's, a little sideways. You can see through turn 2, she's having to correct her steering. So we're not going to be able to catch up to Chuck as much. But again, I don't want to fight too much, because I don't want Chuck to pull away anymore. So going down into turn 7 here, I think that gap to Chuck has increased. So we're not quite catching up to Chuck as much as possible, but again, I don't want to battle too much, because we still have a couple more laps left. But coming out of turns 8 and 9 here, if you look further ahead into turn 1, one of those pixels right there is 2nd place, going off at turn 1. So going through turn 1 here, we're going to move up into 4th place, and so Michaela in front of us, she's in 3rd place. So now there's a direct battle to 3rd place right in front of me. Now, at this moment in this race, I had no idea that Michaela was now in 3rd and I was in 4th, because I didn't see 2nd place go off track. So at this point, I thought I was still in 5th, but now we've got a battle for 3rd place here, and we only have a couple more laps left. I've noticed that the gap to Chuck is a little too big, so in my mind, I've decided that this is just going to be a battle between the 3 of us, Michaela, Chris, and myself. So now that I'm gonna spend my time and energy trying to pass Michaela, I gotta figure out where she's slow so I can find the best place to pass her. So one thing I noticed is that going through turn 3 here, you're gonna see I'm gonna catch up to her a great deal, and that's gonna give me a lot of momentum going down the straights. So that'll give me the speed I need to go down the straights to pass her. Another thing I noticed is that going to turn 7, she'd get sideways sometimes. You can see right there, she gets a little sideways. So if I'm gonna pass her, I'm thinking get a good run on her coming out of turn 3, get Chris from behind to push me going into turn 7, and pass her that way. So we're going down the back straight here. We see the flagman's waving 2 to go. This is where people start going for moves and start going defensive. So I either got to defend against Chris from behind or attack Michaela in front. Obviously, I want to try and pass Michaela in front, so coming out of turn 3 here, I'm going to tap my helmet and point forward, telling Chris from behind, look, let's work together, let's try and pass Michaela, because if you follow me, I will guarantee that you will gain some positions. And reluctantly, he kind of agrees with me. He doesn't fight me. So I've saved my plan of attack for the last lap because I don't want Michaela having any chances of passing me back. So I actually, coming out of the last couple of corners, give Michaela a little bit more room on purpose because going through turn 3, I want to have some good momentum. I don't want to bang into the back of her, lose all my momentum. So going into turn 3, Michaela actually takes turn 3 really well, and I didn't gain on her as much as I have in the past. And then going through the chicane, Chris from behind, he's nowhere near me, so he's not able to push me and catch up to Michaela. So the plan's already going to hell. Going into turn 7 here, though, Michaela does get a little sideways, and we do catch up to her. Going through turns 8 and 9, I just bang into the back of her right there. I lose my momentum, and it's going to be a drag race to the checkered line. I don't have the top end, and we finish in 4th place. So unfortunately, 3rd place was right there, and I did eventually figure out that I did finish in 4th place, because at this point I thought I finished in 5th, but yeah, 3rd place was right there, so obviously a little gutted that I didn't quite get 3rd, but really good racing from Michaela and Chris. Huge shout out to those guys. If you want to see the rest of Chris's video, it's on YouTube, so go check them out. But yeah, shout out to those guys, really good racing. But that's all I'm going to have for today. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing. If you have any questions, suggestions, or opinions, please comment below. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.